how you've bounced back from a failure in your life. Doesn't specifically have to be fighting, but anytime, whether personally or professionally, when you felt like you were having a hard time, what has helped you move forward?
I wish I had a good answer for that. I don't know. I think it's just how I was raised. And I think that I've just never accepted that I was ever going to be normal. Like I always knew that I never fit in with my friends and the neighborhood, the neighborhood and the city that I grew up in. And I just never fit in. Like I always knew I was going to do something different than everyone else. And I don't have a backup plan. So I know that like you listen to some self-help people and they'll tell you don't have a backup plan. You listen to some and they'll tell you to go find a backup plan. I've never gone to a plan B. I've never looked for one. It's just, and I think some of that is, if we're looking at strictly fighting, it's that I've never felt like I've been beaten by someone that's better than me. For whatever reason, I make things really difficult for myself and I make mistakes and sometimes I lose focus, in the moment and end up in bad spots or whatever. But I've never felt like someone was better than me. Like maybe they were that night, but overall in our skill set, I've never felt like someone was better than me, even John Jones. And then I guess just in life, it sounds super simple, but I just put my head down and I just walk forward and just, I just take it on the chin and just figure it out. I used to do a little bit of like public speaking to like youth prisons, and there's a prison that's like an hour from where I live now. And they would have me come in and talk to these like young fathers who are about to get out of prison and talk to them about how to kind of pull yourself up by your bootstraps and try to figure it out. And I don't really fit in well in those type of circumstances because a lot of those people they're looking for excuses and people to feel bad for them. And like I've been in a lot of those same positions that they're all in. The difference between me is that the faster you realize that no one really gives a shit about you, the quicker you're going to be more successful. I've never tried to lean on anybody or blame anything. Like that's the one thing about me. Like I've always, anytime I've gotten in trouble, whether it was with the police or my mom or whoever, like I never lied. Like if you ask me a question, I'll be honest with you. Like, did you do that? Yeah, I did that. And I'll do my time, I'll take the punishment. And that's just how I've always been. So I think I was just born that way. And my mom and grandpa kind of just continue to instill that. And, and that's how that's kind of what I do. That's what I try to instill in my own kids.
That's awesome.
Maybe that's a huge reason as to why you're a fan favorite.
Yeah. Well, I think people relate to me. I think that sometimes like you look at guys like, even Gustafson, like I used to look at that guy and he didn't seem like a real person. Like he just seems like everything's perfect for him and it comes so easy, other than this, his hiccups with John Jones and DC, but like other than like those extreme situations, it seems like Gus, it's just always been so great for him. And he's been so successful and such a great career. And that's just not my life. It's just been an up and down and it's ebbs and flows. So I think that like, there's no BS with me. Like I don't hang out with celebrities. Like I don't even hang out with other fighters that much. My best friends are normal people. They're teachers and, heating and air guys. And, they're just normal car salesmen. And you know what I mean? They're just normal people. And I think that's why people relate to me because I do live a normal life. Like I don't drive a Range Rover. I drive a Dodge Ram. Like I don't live in a $10 million house. I live in a, like a $500,000 neighborhood. Like it's like, I'm fairly normal. I just have an extraordinary job.
And you say you volunteered to go on like odd Swedish American international podcasts.
Yeah. And I
that kind of thing.
Yeah, I do. I go on podcasts and I don't know. I have fun with this stuff. And to be honest with you guys, like I know how hard it is to run a podcast. Like I have one and I have a radio show on Sirius XM and I do the broadcasting thing. Like it's really hard. And it's really hard to get people to, like, I know that sometimes I'll scroll through and people are like, hey, come on my podcast. And it's like, I can't do them all, but like, why not help people out, and have cool conversations with cool people?